All right, thank you so much, citizens of Douglas County, for allowing us to take a brief pause for the cause to go into executive session for an item that was quite urgent. Board of Commissioners, at this time, do we have a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand to come out of executive session. We have a 5-0 unanimous vote and the motion carries. All right, I yield the floor to you, Madam Clerk, so we can push through our agenda today.
I don't think we took a motion to adopt the agenda, so
Okay.
we'll need a motion to adopt the agenda.
Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to adopt the agenda today?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. In the discussion board, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please cast your votes electronically. No, please indicate by raising your right hand. We have a 5-0 unanimous vote and the motion carries to adopt the agenda. Madam Clerk, I yield the floor to you.
Okay, next we have approval of minutes. Just please review those and be prepared to adopt those tomorrow. Number 6, we will have a public hearing tomorrow morning, and CFO Dominic O'Shea will present on that. Number 7, we have grants. Approval to accept the Arthur Blank Atlanta United Soccer Grant in the full amount of $1,308 to collaborate with the Georgia Storm Association in delivering targeted soccer programming and resources to the community with an emphasis on youth participation and accessibility, establish the budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Chad Griffin.
Good morning, Chairman, Board of Commissioners, County Administration. Parks Department, we applied for a grant through Arthur Blank Foundation and Georgia Recreation and Park Association. We applied for football and soccer. We received the soccer grant, so we are excited to partner with Georgia Storm here in Douglas County to help individuals who maybe can't afford to play soccer and to help with equipment they may need.
Okay. Any questions, board?
Yes. Yes,
You
ma'am.
have the floor, Commissioner
Well,
Waxton.
Okay, thank you. So just a quick question. Thank you and congratulations on getting the grant there for soccer. So is the grant, you mentioned as far as equipment, is that also for like application fees or any fees associated for those youth that are at risk, or just wanted to get a little?
Yeah, so anybody who's at risk or needs help with registration, those fees go towards that.
Okay, and what are the ages of the participants?
They play U4 all the way up to some adults, so for Georgia Storm. But we'll focus on mainly youth.
Mainly youth, okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Madam Chair, you have the floor back to you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Waxton. Any other questions,
I do have
board?
just one
Commissioner
question, Madam
Mitchell,
Chair.
you have the floor.
So 1308 is the amount that we're getting. There's no match, there's no nothing that
No,
goes
sir,
along
there's
with
no
it?
match.
Okay, Arthur, was this from Arthur?
Arthur Blank Foundation, yes,
Okay,
sir.
All right, all right. When I see him, I'll make sure I tell him thank you. The other thing, so how would you determine how you're going to process that amount, to whom that you give it to, and what amounts? Do you have any idea kind of how you're going to put it all together, or you just?
We're still in the beginning stages, but we're going to work with Georgia Storm, it's the Athletic Soccer Association here in Douglas County. So we'll work closely with them, and they'll help us identify individuals who may need equipment or may need help with registration.
Right, because, pretty much everybody going to come and say, well, I need.
Right.
And then, this 1308 will be gone on the first round.
Right.
And the question is how much, do you give it to one individual or 10?
Correct.
Broken out. I don't know. I just don't. I'd love to know the structure. That's all.
Yes,
Kinda
sir.
what
As soon as
that
we
process
figure
looks
that out,
like.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. So that's all I would need to know. Okay. I yield back. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're
I yield back.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Mitchell. All right, any other questions? There are no
Okay.
other.
Okay,
Madam
we'll move
Clerk.
to business items. Number 8, approval of a 1-year prorated contract renewal with Civic Plus for the Civic Engage reservation software in the amount of $6,569 to be funded by the department's budget, and authorize the chairperson to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Chad Griffin.
Thank you. We use Civic Plus or Civic Recreation for all of our rentals, all of our registration fees, and it also gives us the ability to communicate with about 30,000 individuals through that system. So we have used Civic Plus for 15 plus years now, and the community seems to like it. This past year we actually made it more user-friendly for people to get on and register, so we're excited about that option as well.
Any questions, board?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Braxton, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. So I see the reoccurring fee of the just over, I guess, $1,000 there, and that's what we pay annually, correct, for the Civic Plus?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the one-time premium department head of implementation? What is that? What is
So
that?
this fee comes from a percentage of how many we register throughout the year.
Okay.
So that's how that number has come up with.
All right, so it's like a fee per person or per service or something
sir.
that once we hit a threshold, then there's a set amount, and that's based on the 2024 number
Mhm.
of
Yes, sir.
registrations.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll pay that every year in addition to the reoccurring fees?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay, any other question, board? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Director Griffith. Thank you. Madam
Okay.
Clerk?
Number 9, approval for Douglas County Sheriff's Office to enter into an annual renewal agreement with Kelwell Food Management in the approximate amount of $974,000.09 based on last year's spending, subject to fluctuation in inmate population and food cost, to provide food for inmates for July 17th, 2025 through July 16th, 2026, to be funded through the Sheriff's Office budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Lieutenant Colonel Pounds.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lieutenant.
So Kelwell is our food service provider, and I brought Captain Deese, who actually engineered this whole thing, so he can tell you in detail about any questions or anything you may have. Captain Deese?
Good morning,
Morning.
Captain.
With the cost of food costs that happened after COVID, I started looking at how we could reduce some food costs to inmates. Because we can't get out of not feeding them, we have to feed them. In 2023, we actually spent $1.8 million feeding inmates. By going to a Kelwell contract, which they feed over 100 jails. We reduced our cost to $1.4 million for 2024, and that was with a food cost increase if we were doing it by ourselves. And I think we'll be able to reduce it another 20%, 18 to 20%, by continuing this contract with Kelwell. And a lot of that is dictated by our inmate population. Right now, our population is at a 671 ADP. So it works out to about $1.90-something per inmate per meal. So it was a huge savings. And I request that we re-up the contract with them.
Okay. Any questions, board? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Mitchell?
I couldn't let the lieutenant get away from, no, just kidding, I'm just. Okay, so you went from the 1.8 to 1.4 in 23, 24, correct? And now we're at 974.
That's for inmate feeding, correct? There's also
Correct.
staff feeding that goes in with that. You'll end up, right now, I'm estimated total cost at about 1.455.
Okay, 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 so should that number be 1.55, you're saying, or should that not be, what number should we, am I looking at the right number, though?
For a budget
Yes.
perspective, I'd say 1.5, and you will come in under that.
Right, so I'm asking this question about,
Here's the-
what I've got, what I'm looking at here, though, hold on one second. What I'm looking at here is 974, though.
That's a Kelwell contract. That's for inmate feeding only.
Okay, okay.
They do not feed staff. We do
Got it.
our own food. We don't want inmates cooking for our officers.
Right, so right. You might not want that, yeah, I agree. But what I'm trying to make sure, I'm looking at the right number, though, so we won't get missed.
Well, it will fluctuate depending on your ADP, which
Oh,
your
I got you,
inmates.
I understand, I understand.
If your inmate population goes up, then that number will change.
Understood, yes, yes. And we
So
hope
I
that
don't
number
know.
don't go up, we hope that it decreases. We don't want to arrest the whole, but I'm just making sure, though, that we got the right number on here,
Yes, you have the
974.
right number, but what will fluctuate is
Oh,
based on population.
I understand that, right. But that part we won't know until we get there.
We don't know.
Understood. So, but on average, you've been doing from 23 and 24, 1.8, 1.4 in that
Correct.
range. So we anticipating possibly a 1.5 total in the end
Total.
when it's all done.
Correct.
When this is all done.
Absolutely.
All right. Can I get a nod? Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. I yield back. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you so much. Vice Chair, you have the floor.
I know we house inmates for other agencies.
Yes.
And I know we did like an increase, I think it was about a year and a half ago, a year ago.
I
Should
think the increase went up to $70 a day. We're actually doing an exercise now, Major Wizenhunt is, re-looking at that, revisiting everything because of food cost and other factors.
Perfect, that's what I was gonna ask. All right, thank you, Madam Chair, yield back.
All right, any other questions? Yeah, the cost of food is going up, tariffs, everything is
Yes.
on your head, just like it is for health. I get it. All right, any other questions, Board? Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll move to number 10, approval of Douglas County Sheriff's Office to renew a 5-year agreement with Thompson Reuters for clear software subscription and interface with PenLink in the amount of $39,495 to be funded by the Sheriff's Office budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Lieutenant Colonel Pounds.
Clear. It's a research and intelligence tool used by law enforcement to gather timely and accurate information during investigations. It helps improve officer safety, support case development, and locate people and assets. PenLink is a secure software platform that helps investigators collect, organize, and analyze communications and location data across various sources. It is a key tool in complex investigations involving multiple suspects and data streams. We use Clear for several years now. The contract includes an additional model to connect PenLink and Clear together, and it saves weeks, days, if not weeks, of manpower and hours of analyzing data and organizing for investigators.
Okay, any questions, Board? Thank you. Oh, Commissioner Mitchell, I'm so sorry.
So this is a 5-year auto renewal, or is it, are we going to do this annually, I guess, how would this line up with our contracts?
Let's see, I'm not sure if we've reviewed this one yet, but if not, this would be one that would be pushed back. If it had a 5-year term, for it to be 1 year with auto renewal for the max years.
But not for them to come back to us to ask for another.
If it's auto renewal, then they don't
Come back.
usually come back to you guys.
Right,
But if it ends completely at the end of a year, right, then they would have to come.
Got it. Good. But this way, they don't have to come back, it's just auto renew and just kind of keep it moving. And it falls within our guidelines of annual contracts, what I'm trying to make sure of.
Correct.
It does.
It will if, when I get through with it, yes, it
Oh,
will.
when you get through with it, okay, okay. So that's the legal part of this, pending legal review, that you'll make sure that it falls within our
Absolutely.
guidelines. Okay, all right, because I got to watch this, you guys. No, that's it. I yield back, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Lieutenant.
All right,
Okay.
no further questions. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Colonel.
Number 11, approval of a contract renewal with Intercontinental Commercial Services, Inc. for janitorial services at the old courthouse for the time period of August 2025 through December 2025 in the amount of $14,250 to be funded by state DUI court's budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Teresa Gordy.
Good afternoon. This is just the annual cleaning contract for the old courthouse building.
Okay. Any questions, Board?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, sir.
So did the old contract expire in December of 2024?
Yes, sir, it did. And I took over this position March 31st, and we realized that the old contract had expired at the end of December, and Director Choice and myself and our administrative assistant met with the contracting company to be sure they were in compliance with the contract, and then we renewed it for this time period. We're going to evaluate it again in November and make sure that, services are being performed like they should be, and before we do the next contract for next year.
Okay, so from January until July, what was the
They were
agreement?
month to month, and we were just paying them month to month.
So was there a contract, or was there like a I'm just trying to get an understanding, what was the contract expired at the end of December?
Correct.
So we went month to month. Was there like a contract or a statement of work, or what was done from January to July?
Nothing, sir. We just paid them based on the previous rate. And it was still under the same parameters as the contract that had expired.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we do not have to, you said, rebid it out until the end of December?
It was bid out in 2023, and
Okay.
the contract was awarded then. And I'm assuming in 2024, my predecessor had renewed the contract. But then at the end of 2024, it wasn't renewed for 2025. And they were just going month to month until we renewed it now.
Okay. So what happens at the end of 2025, I guess? Because I think I heard you mention that there would be a rebidding, so I just want to know what delineates a rebidding process.
We have the option to renew it under the current bid, but if we're not satisfied with the services we're receiving, we will put it out to bid again.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I take it then that we're satisfied with the services, thus we want to extend it through the end of December.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay, any other questions, board? I just have one for our purchasing, Director of Purchasing, if he could just come up for a second, then I'm gonna move on. Okay, yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Purchasing Director, Choice, just have a question. Now, this $14,250, is this bids or quotes?
No, those are actually bids. It's a monthly price that they have
Okay.
combined in order to just bring one price. So the monthly price, I think it's,
2,850.
okay.
Okay, that was the only question I
Okay.
had. Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Okay.
Madam Clerk?
Number 12, approval of a one-year renewal contract for Tara Nichols in the amount of $75,000 to continue overseeing the fire department's mobile integrated health program to be funded by the fire department's budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Chief Allen.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Board, Vice Chair, Administration. So this is our, we're asking for approval for the renewal for Tara Nichols to oversee our mobile integrated health program.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, that's
Any questions, board?
Yeah, this one.
Okay, Vice Chair.
Since we implemented this program with the MIH, how much has that saved us? Can you give me basically a number?
I have a couple of different things. Good morning.
Morning.
To point out, this
morning.
is not figure-based. It's hard to project exactly how this is going to expand moving forward. What we've seen is a reduction in our call volume by 2%. And so where our fire call volume has gone up 7%, EMS usually trumps that, and it's under at 6.5%. The goal of MIH, of course, is to decrease the high utilization. And so from a benefit from the fire department, it decreases the call responses for the crew. It makes them more available for 911 emergency responses, and it decreases the additional needs for putting up those additional units and building additional stations to house those units. So it's not just a one particular number. It's allowing the community growth without having the consequence of having the increase in emergency response. But the numbers are pretty significant. We had a couple of ultra-high utilizers that I wanted to specifically point out. The highest was calling 911 128 times a month, and he's down to 3. We had another person calling 39 times in April, down to 0, 47 times, another person in June, down to 0, and one that was 18 times in May, and they're down to 9. So this is the impact that it has. It's relating to availability of your units for true emergencies and being able to decrease the amount of need you have to put up additional units.
Okay. All right.
So.
I'll yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay, any other questions, board? All right,
Yes.
I gotta start looking to the
No,
right.
okay.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Thank you. So how did that work, though? I'm trying to understand the whole makeup. So it had a good reduction, which I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it that somebody call them beforehand to kind of get make that adjustment? How did it work? How does it work?
Yeah, and I'll try to not talk all day on this. So when, there's a couple of different ways that they're identified. Usually it's through a report that prints out that says this is someone that's contacting 911 more than 2 times a month. And so they get on Tara's list. Tara is the clinician that oversees the case management.
Okay.
And so at that point, it starts the patient to clinician contact, and they decide what the barriers are. Sometimes it's they don't have primary access to care. Sometimes it's, there's just a gamut of things in the community. And so they make sure that they have the ability to have those services and the connection to services. But it's getting to the root of what is actually making them call 911
Got it.
more than 2 times a month.
An example of I've fallen, I can't get up. I mean, I'm just.
So some is,
Yeah.
I don't want to steer. Here, Terry.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
So the clients that are on our caseload, many of them are elderly.
Okay.
And they are, they have a reduced access to care and a lack of support that would allow them to age in place and to face some of the medical and different issues that they might be facing, funding, transportation, access to dialysis services, access to, maybe even food or stability resources. And so
So you jump right in, and I apologize for interrupting you there, but so you jump in and kind of navigate them to the right resource, meaning to get whatever medications they need to do whatever it is that they're requesting on a regular basis or irregular basis.
So we take an intervention and prevention method approach through what we call a multidisciplinary team. So we have I'm the clinical supervisor, and then we have a case manager, and then we partner with different services in the community to create a true wraparound experience for them. And we create access points for them and help navigate those different ways of accessing care. Healthcare has become more complex in the fact that it's automated, it's on an app, you have to call, you have to hit several numbers, and a lot of our elderly individuals, they're not able to access and navigate those different systems.
So do you drop by their house or something?
Yes, we
Oh,
have
okay,
weekly in-home service
Okay.
that where we go in, we do in-home social determinants of health screenings and home assessments, and then we work with the patient to help them navigate their care in their home.
That's good.
That's our main method.
Got it. Okay, so you really kind of go in, because that person is called enough to where you're saying, okay, let me find out really what's going on, versus sending them through 911 and sending out you guys in the ambulance and all that good stuff. Wow, okay, good job, okay, thank you. I yield back. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. Any other questions? All right, thank you. Madam Clerk.
Okay, number 13, approval of FEMA Community Rating System, cycle verification documents with no cost to the county, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Travis McDonald.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So the Community Rating System program is part of FEMA, and we basically get a score for how well we manage floodplains in the county. The program doesn't cost anything out of our budget, but our participation does save homeowners about 15% off of their flood insurance premium. So it's a good program. We do have to get certified every 5 years, and this is one of our cycle years, and it requires some signatures by Madam Chair on the application. So that's why we're asking for board approval.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
Any questions, board?
Yes, yes.
Commissioner Mitchell?
So what's the number? What's the ratio that when you're talking about flood insurance that we get as a county that helps us save on our insurance for those who have to get flood insurance? Is there some kind of magical formula number that they require us to have or to present?
Yes, well, there's a number of measures that
Okay.
that we have in place that say, for instance, we don't allow new residential construction in floodplain. That boosts our score because there won't be as many claims to FEMA for flood claims. And so that helps our community score. The better our score is, the more savings for the homeowners. It's a sliding scale. There isn't one magic number. It's just
Got
the
it.
more measures that we have in place, the better our score and the better the
Got
savings.
it. And in that whole scoring process, those who are in a floodplain requesting State Farm or whomever else for insurance, for flood insurance, that's where the savings kind of goes to kind of help in that process.
Correct. So when they get flood insurance, FEMA knows that we do a good job of managing our floodplains, whether it's by limiting development or other certain things. So it reduces FEMA's risk as far as how many claims are going to be coming from Douglas County.
Right.
And
But what I'm alluding to, though, does State Farm get that info to say, okay, I'm applying at State Farm for flood insurance? Are they made aware that we scored a 95, and that may be good, I don't know what the numbers are, that you shouldn't be charging this particular constituent a higher rate for flood insurance because we as a county have a higher standard? So I'm just making sure that our constituency receive that benefit, basically.
Yes, my understanding is that State Farm is getting their information directly from FEMA. So
Okay.
FEMA is relaying the information to the insurance providers as
Got
to
it.
what the rates for our community should be.
So how do we make sure our constituency, other than this conversation now that's being publicized, know to even ask the right questions about, our rating as a county?
As far as I'm aware, it's just an automatic thing that once someone applies for flood insurance and the rates come back from FEMA to State Farm, for example, our rating is already built into the rates that are being provided to anyone that's applying for the.
And there's
The applicant or the homeowner doesn't have to necessarily request anything special as part of this program. It's all just baked into the flood insurance rate.
And
that
you're
they're getting.
confident that pass-through is being passed through?
I will verify that, but that's my understanding.
Okay. All right, thank you.
They've never asked us to provide.
Right. And I
that
know, and
information.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot though, but I'm really concerned that State Farm, and I'm using Progressive, whomever else, that they're really kind of passing this on to the citizens of Douglas County because of how the great rating that we got when it comes to flood insurance, and that they're receiving that on the other end. The end user is what I'm just concerned about, and I don't know how we can find out if they are or not. But if
I'll do my part to check on that and get back to you.
Okay.
But I'm fairly certain that all the information comes directly from FEMA down to the insurance providers.
Okay, all right. And I just know, I'm well aware of places where flood insurance is required. I just never knew that it was based off of a rating, which you just mentioned here, the community rating services. I never knew that was the process, but this is kind of new to me and interesting to me because I kind of deal in the flood insurance side of things. I just want to make sure that our end user, which is our constituency, who happens to have to need that service, that they're getting that pass-through cost reduction in their flood insurance, basically.
I'll look into that and make sure
Thank you. I will yield back, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. Any other questions? All right, thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Madam Clerk, you have the floor.
Okay, we will move to number 14, approval of a county policy regarding pets in facilities owned by Douglas County and at events sponsored by Douglas County, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Justin McDermott.
Good afternoon, Board, Administrators.
Good afternoon.
I'm hoping I can answer a few of your questions before we even get to them. This policy is just to get something on the books regarding employee personal pets in the workplace and will not apply to law enforcement because those are officers, will not apply to animal services, and it also will not apply to prosecutorial departments who use animals to assist victims while they're testifying in court. The main reasons are for liability and sanitation purposes. If somebody brings their pet into work, a county-owned facility, or a county event, it's usually building maintenance who has to pick up after those animals if somebody does not take care of their own pet. So we're just trying to get something on the books to where we can point to a policy and say that you're not allowed to have personal pets in the workplace. There is something in the policy that says you can be overridden to have pets in the workplace or at events or other things like that if permitted by the board or their designated administrative personnel, meaning any administrative personnel like county administrator's office or any other administration that you designate could override this policy.
Okay, any questions, Board?
Yes.
Commissioner Raxton?
All right, thank you. All right, so thanks for bringing that additional clarification, because I wasn't able to see specifically that this is specific for county employees. Is that correct? That this policy is only enforceable to employees, not the general public, contractors, vendors, et cetera?
Well, it would be for everyone, but the deputies aren't going to let anybody bring a pet in the front of the courthouse to begin with. But again, it doesn't apply to service animals or anything like that. And we do have events, and this is why we exempted animal services and gave the provision for administrators to be able to give the go-ahead. Like we do have events like September Saturdays where people are allowed to bring their pets and things like that. So when I say it's mainly geared towards employees, but it would apply to anybody coming onto a county property.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, 'cause I was going to ask about September Saturday, so we would have to specifically put language in there to say that they would be allowed in events like that in the future.
Yes, sir, or any administrative personnel that you designate. The full board doesn't have to give that permission, just somebody with administrative powers designate that in writing that pets can be at that event, and then that would be fine with the policy in mind. Anything else?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, I guess we could work out a specific on what the lead time is, 'cause I'm just thinking, let's say we have like district meetings.
Right.
Or town halls or different things that, the district commissioners have. Well, we also need to go ahead and make sure that that information is contained in there, given the type of event that it is.
Yes, sir, and it's also pending final legal review, so if there's any changes that need to be made, we can certainly do that.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yes.
All right, Madam Chair, you have the floor back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Commissioner Raxton. All right, any other questions? Commissioner Mitchell?
So that I'm clear, service animals are okay.
Yes, sir, that's by law.
Right, that's
and
okay.
We're only allowed to ask 2 questions about service animals, and that's what do they provide, what service do they provide? Sorry, I got it pulled up right here. It's what tasks do they perform and what work are they trained to do? And that's all we're allowed to ask in regards to service animals. Georgia doesn't actually have a law stating that emotional support animals have to be allowed in the workplace, so this is specific to service animals. Service animals only are exempt.
Right, so emotional animals for those individuals who are emotionally distressed or whatever, they can bring those in. No, they cannot.
Those aren't technically service animals. The ones that are service animals would be, let's say somebody has PTSD and their doctor has designated that they need a support animal for those episodes. Then it's a designated service animal and it's not an emotional support.
Got it,
animal,
okay,
if that
okay.
makes sense.
And I guess okay, so what you're trying to do is clarify for more employees
Right.
and events that my colleague just mentioned.
Yes, sir.
Because I never even thought about that with all the coughing conversations that I deal with. They bring up an animal, I go like, hey, and pet it, as long as it don't bite.
Right.
I don't think twice about it though, but are we saying this is what we're creating now potentially?
It's just across the board, so yes, sir.
Yeah.
Any county facilities, any county-sponsored events would have this policy. Now, you would be able to say that your event specifically can have animals, but if somebody else's animals bites not only you or another citizen at the event, if we host the event, we could be liable for that.
Ah.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we're trying to make sure of,
Yes,
is the
sir.
liability.
Yes, sir.
So if I accept someone at my event that happened to have a animal that did wrong, then we could be liable.
Could be, yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Never thought about it that way. Thank you. Okay, all right. I yield back, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. All right, if there are no other questions, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Number 15, approval to accept a memorandum of agreement with Georgia Department of Transportation in connection with the streetlight projects on State Route 61, Dallas Highway, Ledbetter Road, with no impact to the budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Solomon Rana.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Board of Commissioners, and the County Administration. Under SPLOST 2016, there were various streetlight projects proposed, some on state routes. We're in the final stages of completing that program, and one of the last intersections is the subject intersection, Highway 61 at Ledbetter and High Point Road intersection. Our proposal is to install 2 streetlights, one on a new fiberglass pole and one on an existing utility pole adjacent to High Point Drive. There is no impact to the budget, and this agreement merely outlines our maintenance and cost of operations responsibilities, which we're undertaking on behalf of Georgia Department of Transportation. And on those bases, we recommend your approval. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions, board? All right, Madam Clerk?
Okay. Number 16, approval to enter into an intergovernmental lighting agreement with Georgia Department of Transportation in connection with street lights on Chapel Hill at I-20 Interchange Improvement Project, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review.
Chapel Hill at I-20 is a federal aid interchange improvement project, and we're in early stages of the design process for this project. Part of the project, the scope includes loop realignments, addition of turn lanes, road widening to accommodate turn lanes beyond the interchange towards the Arbor Place Boulevard intersection. Along with that, we'll have street lights and sidewalk enhancements. As you may know, there's existing street lights on site along the corridor, which will potentially require relocations. And on top of those, we'll be adding more street lights to make sure all the proper lighting scope is met. For those reasons, Georgia Department of Transportation would like for us to clarify via this agreement that county will undertake those tasks and maintain the responsibility of maintaining those streetlights as we do today. So for no impact to the budget as of right now, recommending your approval.
Okay. Any questions, board? All right. Madam Clerk?
Number 17, approval to accept a project framework agreement with Georgia Department of Transportation in connection with project number 21205, Riverside Parkway and Old Lower River Road Sidewalk Project in the amount of $600,000 with a local match of $120,000 to be funded through SPLOST 2016, establish the budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review.
This board applied for TIP solicitation towards mid of last year, which requested funding for 4 different projects. One of the projects was adding sidewalks and multi-use trail on Riverside, connecting the residential areas with the new Manchester Elementary School. We were fortunate to receive that grant funding in the amount of $600,000. Comes with a required local match of 20%, which is $120,000. As of today, this project is not funded or programmed in any of our funding mechanisms, but we do have a Riverside funding allocation in SPLOST 2016, which was meant to improve the intersection of Riverside at Thornton Road. That project, ever since the list was created, has been taken up by the state, and they're doing the improvements that you see happening there today. So that money could be, if the board chooses to reallocate towards this project, provide for the local match required, and kickstart the design process of the multi-use trail on Riverside Parkway. With that, there's a project framework agreement with Georgia Department of Transportation that outlines our responsibility for the local match and delivery of the project, and then further continuing on this project, not just for design, but into right-of-way acquisitions and potentially into construction over the next few years. If the board allows for that reallocation, we would recommend approval of the project framework agreement, request the reallocation of the budget, and establishment of creating a new project under SPLOST 2016. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Managing Director. Any questions for Managing Director? Commissioner? Kendall Jones, you have the floor.
I just wanted to say thank you for your work in trying to achieve this grant. I know the residents in the tributary subdivision, Palmer Falls, and the 2 additional neighborhoods have been trying to work with Safe Path for years. That intersection is a nightmare in the mornings, and if we can get some of those car ride or commuter traffic that is just going to drop kids off at school and going back home so that those kids can safely walk to school, it will hopefully cut down on some of the wear and tear on the roads and stop some of the traffic congestion in the morning. So I definitely think this is a positive step in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Madam Clerk? Thank you
Okay.
so much.
We will move to number 18,
Jones.
approval to accept a change order with CMES, Inc. in the amount of $304,660.58 in connection with project number 4428, Lee Road Widening Phase 2, to be funded by SPLOST 2016, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Silman?
Madam Chair, Lee Road Phase 2 is the ongoing construction project between the limits of I-20 and Fairburn. We're approaching about 70% completion, currently paving the second stage of the project. The project deadline is August 31st as it stands today. Part of this change order is a request to extend that timeline to November 15th. Last time when we were before the board, we discussed that we anticipated the completion to be happening towards the end of the year, but we wanted to work off of smaller intervals for a stronger project control with the contractor and the subcontractors. Following the same trajectory, we're now recommending an extension up until November 15th, and we're hopeful that we'll achieve substantial completion up until that point. The second component of this change order is the financial aspect. There's a change order, a request of about $304,000. The largest change comes from an addition of a new signal at East County Line Road intersection. Initially, when the project was designed many years ago, the intention was to use some of the existing poles that we have in our storage. Unfortunately, those poles are rusted and out of compliance, and our recommendation would be to going with new equipment and poles for this signal. With that change, there's some change in BMPs, basically erosion control measures that are needed because of the extended length and time frame of the project. And then there's a unanticipated water vault relocation close to the Cube Smart on Lee Road. All combined adds up to $304,000 of a change order. We vetted this through our staff, our consultant, and negotiated prices on the different unit prices with the contractor. And the final product is before you for your consideration, and we're recommending your approval. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any questions, board? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Director. Thank you.
Number 19, approval of a change order for Atlas Consultant for Fire Station 9 construction management in the amount of $70,000 to be funded by 2016 SPLOST funds, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Julia Janko.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners, County Administration.
Good afternoon.
Excuse me. This change order is simply to complete out the construction of Fire Station 9. The project was expected to be completed in March. However, due to some construction delays, weather, we've had to extend the project. It's currently expected to be completed and ready for grand opening first part of September. Yay. And with that, we just need to finish this out as part of it. Atlas, AKA Terry Gable, has been instrumental in helping us get this wrapped up and brought to fruition. It's just because it's a 6-month delay, it has extended longer than we thought, and it does require us to increase the PO by $70,000.
Any questions, board? Commissioner Raxton?
Yes. Hi, good morning. All right, so the 70,000, how was that derived? Because I saw for the next one, it was based on per hour rate times the number of hours to get to the 140, which is the next item. But how do we get to the 70,000 for this particular item for Atlas?
It's invoicing based on current costs. It's basically, we've been accruing hours with Terry Gable, and when we finally were able to reconcile and finalize the fire department budget for the 2016 SPLOST, we realized that we still had some unpaid expenses, and this is just cleaning that up and being able to close out the entire project. We are, just as a FYI, we are under budget on the Fire Station 9 than what we originally thought, so this is basically going to neutralize that and it's just part of the cost.
Mm-hmm.
We're not spending any more money than that was already pre-allocated.
All right, so are they going to send us an invoice? Or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have invoices for that already.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see it in the packet there. And does this completely close out what we had for 2016 for the splosh?
With everything with the exception of DOT, yes, sir.
With the exception of DOT.
And DOT is, their projects are 6 to 12 years in length, so it's an ongoing event.
Okay. Okay, Madam Chair, that concludes my questions. I yield the floor back to you.
Okay. Any other questions, board? All right. Next.
Number 20 is approval of a contract with Atlas to provide 865 hours of construction management in the amount of $140,000 to be funded by the previously approved project management department's budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Julia?
Currently, we have 12 active construction projects in 2022. And we are in various states of design, construction, wrap-up, closure. So it's a very exciting time for Douglas County. However, it does take a lot of hands-on touching, and I'll just use an example of, I don't want to pick on Fairburn Road Senior Center, but that has been laboriously a lot of on-site time that was not planned, and it affects everything across the whole program, because it's lots of meetings on site, lots of inspections, lots of time. So we have been leveraging Terry Gable's expertise to be able to help us do some assessments with that to make sure that we keep our projects on track, on time. Other things that Terry has done to assist us is he does bring to the table the ability to move forward on some of these county-based initiatives. His expertise with WSA, getting the meters approved, getting those processes, working with the vendors, doing some of the on-site inspections, and with us, representing us. We are also, just as a note, this is a temporary thing. We are in the process of interviewing and starting the hiring of our own construction management project manager, and we have interviews scheduled for later this week. But at this point, I have to have somewhere to fill that gap from a resource perspective.
Any questions, board? Okay, thank you.
I have the next one.
Okay. Number 21, approval to modify the contract with Rayland and Associates, Inc. to define certain key areas within the agreement with no change to the cost regarding the landfill transfer station, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Julia?
We, Director Choice and myself, we identified a little bit of a gray zone between what's in the procurement package that goes out during a bid versus what are actually in the contracts. And subsequently, Rayland picked up on that gray area. And we want, in an effort to correct this, we had a lot of conversations, we had a lot of meetings. We've agreed to do some amendments to the contract, specifically defining what is contingency, how the county recognizes contingency, and how it is tracked and managed. And Rayland has agreed to the changes. We're going to modify the contract to correctly assess how contingency is defined. And then moving forward, we are modifying the procurement site as well as the contracts for all future contracts. It was just something that was a little fuzzy gray. They found it, and they were going to go with it.
Any questions, board? Commissioner Braxton?
Yeah, so just a quick question. Attached in the documentation is a change request 3 and 4. So are we saying that's not applicable, or just kind of tell me why that was also included?
Those are also included because that's what's going to be charged to the contingency rather than charged back to the county.
Okay.
So it's something that was already in the contract. They were saying the contingency, they owned it. We said, no, we owned it. And so they were trying to charge us an addition where we basically come back to the board and nickel and dime you. We said, no, it's already planned in the contingency. This needs to now go against your contingency budget. We just wanted to give you an example of what we're trying to do is reduce costs.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. That concludes my questions. I give the floor back to you.
Okay.
That was just an excellent catch, and exactly what we are looking for you all to be doing to save money on some of these projects. So well done on that.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Madam Clerk?
Number 22, approval of the contract with AT&T in the amount of $33,428.33 to move existing infrastructure on decommissioned utility pole to new poles for the E911 Backup Center project to be funded by the E911 funds, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Katrina Harley.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Board of Commissioners, County Administration. This is simply a multi-phase utility pole relocation for the backup E911 center between Greystone, Comcast, and AT&T. This is the last phase of that. And also, as part of this project, we do expect to have a change order coming before this Board of Commissioners soon with a credit of $36,000 from Motorola that will offset this cost.
Any questions, board, for our director?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 23, approval to submit an extension and budget realignment to the U.S. Small Business Administration for the Business Incubator Project, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review.
Good
Tiffany
morning.
Stewart Stanley.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair, Board of Commissioners, County Administrator. So we are here today to request a change in some information that we submitted to SBA. So back in 2022, our intergovernmental team worked with Congressman Scott to secure some funding for a small business incubator here in the county. The direction that we went in, we tagged it on to a program that we had at the county, the financial master series that we had here at the county. And so that it was submitted and approved. Congress awarded us the money for the $500,000, and we signed off on the project. However, since we did that, we've had a few changes. Our main contact at the University of West Georgia, who was mostly handling the project, she has left the university, as well as our contact at SBA. We had to wait for some changes to get a new representative. And so we're coming forward today with the new proposal to work with Elevate Douglas to provide them with the $500,000 to start a small business incubator in the community. Now, this has not been approved. We have to get your approval to submit the actual application. And so we are just coming before you today because we need to request an extension. Our grant runs out, the timeline runs out in 2025. And so we have to request a one-year extension to be able to move forward and use those funds to help Elevate Douglas with the small business incubator. And so I do have Mr. Pumphrey here if there are any questions regarding this proposal.
Any questions, board? Do we need Mr. Pumphrey to come up? Come on now.
If you could just give us a very brief overview of what Elevate's vision is for the small business incubator.
Sure thing. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Just briefly, Elevate Douglas, part of our mission has been to not only focus on the recruitment of large business, but also the growth of small businesses in our community. And so we actually have a small business director on staff already, focused on working with our local businesses here in the community. And so this is an opportunity for us to scale the work that we do, to provide more services, and also be very much more directed in the work that we do. Actually, today we hosted a meeting with a lot of general contractors who are building data centers, and the focus there is to create a pipeline for small businesses in Douglas County to have preferential selection for the subcontracting work for small businesses. And so this is a foundational opportunity for us to scale up that work and be more intentional about our support for small businesses.
And do you have a target number of businesses that you want to help, or how you want to help them scale? What does that look like?
Yeah, so our goal is to kind of start with about 100, to reach 100 businesses. We're going to start around 45. They're about, in this particular program, we've got about 7 to 8 years worth of contracts that will be issued. And so we have a pretty long pipeline of work to be able to achieve our goals.
I yield back, Vice Chair.
Is there any more questions? Yes, Commissioner Raxton.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Just out of curiosity, where it says create new jobs, do you have an idea what that target is over the next 3 years?
The creation of the new jobs?
Yes.
We don't have a set target on that particular number just yet. Primarily what we want to do is just focus on the creation of the businesses that aren't here today to help scale the ones that already are here, and then we'll kind of see what those metrics look like.
Okay. Are there any specific industries that you're focusing in on?
So what we realize is we can't serve everyone. So what we'd like to do is kind of stay in the lanes of our already set targeted sectors, which are advanced manufacturing, life sciences and healthcare, professional technology services, and media and entertainment. So we want to stay within those lanes. We're already recruiting the larger businesses. How do we support the smaller businesses that support those industries?
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Vice Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
All right, any more questions? Okay. Next, Madam Clerk.
Number 24, authorization to create a Douglas County FIFA World Cup Ad Hoc Committee. Commissioner Kenner-Jones.
This was a proposal from myself. I hear the residents asking us to come up with additional revenue sources. The World Cup is coming. Most of the other metro counties already have committees that they are using to help figure out, one, crowd management, public safety response, but then also helping small businesses, the hotels come up with packages, deals, things that they can use so that they can market their business to people who may stay in Douglas County during the World Cup. There are about 40 games that'll be played in the Atlanta metro area, and so I just want to make sure that we don't miss out on the opportunity to capture some of those additional funds. And so we've identified some appropriate key players like Elevate Douglas, the Chamber of Commerce, our EMA director, 911, and other individuals, Yvette from Communications, to help put these things together. And so I just wanted the remainder of the board to know what we were doing, and then, you know, have their say-so if this is something that they want us to move forward with so that we can go ahead and get some of these things rolling.
Okay. Is there any other questions? No. No? Okay.
Mr. Vice Chair, I
Yes.
just want to add that we would need to add this to tomorrow and have a resolution to create a committee if it's going to be a committee of the county. And so I'll get with Commissioner Jones, Kenner Jones, to get the details of what that resolution needs to include.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Number 25, authorization to create a Douglas County Audit Committee. Commissioner Raxton.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, in conjunction of what we've heard from our citizens and what we're looking at as far as over the lay of the land here is as far as good governance is that Douglas County does not have a current audit committee. And this is something that is definitely warranted, gives us an opportunity to have those professionals that have the necessary required recommendations to help us to ensure that we're utilizing and working in best practices and utilizing the resources that our community has provided to us. If you again look across other municipalities and even in corporate America, audit committees are very common and gives us an opportunity to ensure again that we are utilizing the resources in the best manner. There is a draft resolution that has been prepared for the board to consider, and I just ask my fellow commissioners to consider implementing this, giving us this opportunity to go forth and to meet this obligation. Mr. Vice Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Is there any other questions? Okay.
Can I just ask one question? Will these need to be under consent or on business?
No, business.
Business.
Okay. Is there any other commissioner comments? No? Madam County Attorney, is there a need to go back into an executive session?
There is.
Okay.
I do have one question before you do that.
Sure.
And this is for County Attorney. I was looking back at my ACCG rules, and I think any materials that we referenced or used up here during discussion on items that have to be included in the record. So do I need to provide the stuff that I was reading from earlier during the CSB's presentation to Ms. Lisa?
Those are items that you researched and relied on.
Yes.
And if you did use them, then yes,
Okay.
I would recommend you provide them.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, may I get a motion to go into executive session?
Vice Chair, I move to go into executive session for matters of personnel, litigation, cybersecurity, and real estate.
I second the motion.
Second? Okay. Is there any discussion? All right, all in favor to go into executive session, raise your right hand. Opposed, it was 3 unanimous. And so to our citizens, please give us a moment for us to go back into executive session, and we will come back down and reconvene shortly.